Recently, I've been challenged to create a recipe for a chocolate chip cookie dough mix that's not only shelf stable, but also a just add water mix, which is different than anything else out there. And up until this past week, the perfect recipe had been eluding me. Then I discovered two special ingredients that were the keys to making these chocolate chip cookies some of the best things to ever come out of my oven. Well, hi there, everyone. My name is Kareth. I'm a wife, a mom, an author, and a cook. On this channel, I like to create recipes using freeze-dried food. Sometimes it's completely shelf-stable, like a meal or a mix in a jar. Other times, I combine freeze-dried with fresh, but all the time, it's delicious. I'm here to help people who have freeze-dried food on their shelves to know how to cook with it. I test out recipes so you don't have to. Welcome to the Freeze-Dried Foodie. There are actually not a lot of ingredients that go into this mix. It's a very standard chocolate chip cookie mix. You will recognize most of the ingredients here: flour, sugar, brown sugar, soda, salt, and of course we need eggs. But you're also going to need some sort of fat, okay? And I found this buttery flavor coconut oil is perfect. And then the other secret ingredient, that brown butter seasoning from McCormick, that in combination with the vanilla, y'all, this is just so close to a traditional chocolate chip cookie, like my regular recipe. It's astounding to me. My family loves it. So I'm going to put up on the screen the list of ingredients you will need to make this, and then I'll put the full recipe with the exact measurements down in the description box below the video. I'll also include the links where you can get these, quote, secret ingredients, the coconut oil and the brown butter seasoning. And I'm telling you, those two things make a huge difference in this recipe. So when you're ready to put together the mix, just get out your food processor, and then in goes all of the dry ingredients first. So I'm putting flour, some white sugar. I do pack the brown sugar just a little bit. The scrambled egg mix that I'm using is the Thrivalist brand. Since they're closing their doors, you won't be able to buy that anymore. So whatever brand you use, like you can use other brands, but you need to use the kind that includes the entire egg. And it's the equivalent of one egg. Now, some people use baking powder and baking soda in their chocolate chip cookie recipe. I have never done that. I've been a baking soda girl, and that's something that I got from, I think it's the back of the Nestle Toll House chocolate chips, the recipe that's on there. That's the one I used for years, and it's great. Okay, here's a closer look at that McCormick's brand of brown butter seasoning. Like the perfect little addition to make these taste like you have done that extra step in browning your butter and adding it to your chocolate chip cookies. It's fantastic, but don't put more than like a teaspoon of it in there because it does get a little bit salty on you. All right, go ahead and pulse those dry ingredients and mix them up. And here is that Nutiva brand of coconut oil. It's the buttery flavor one. It's just so perfect in this recipe. You'll get a fantastic butter flavor. Now, it's a solid at room temperature oil, but it's really hot here, and mine had melted just a little bit. You can pop it in the fridge and firm it up if you need to, but it should work really well. It's a shelf-stable oil, and your mix should be fine at room temperature on the shelf after you combine it all together. So since mine was a little bit on the soft side, I did stop the food processor a couple of different times, and I tried to just scrape it from the bottom and make sure that that oil got really well incorporated into the rest of the ingredients. So if yours looks the same, go ahead and stop it a couple of times and scrape it. And you just want to make sure you have a really well mixed mix here. You can try this with other brands of coconut oil. I think they sell it in big tubs at Costco. I think it would work with any kind of coconut oil, just so it's a shelf-stable coconut oil and a solid coconut oil. Yeah, so that is the texture you're looking for in your mix. It looks just like wet sand. You can store this in a quart-sized jar. You'll have to press it down in order to fit the chocolate chips. And I think that's the appeal here, is that everything is in one jar. So, I mean, if you want to store it in a jar that's separate, you can, but you don't have to. You can press down that cookie mix and fit a little over a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips in the top. All right, so this is the jar that you could store on your pantry shelf, or like, this is what I'm thinking, this is the jar that you could give as a gift. Christmas gift, birthday gift, whatever. Everything's in that one jar. Put a little ribbon around it. Put the little baking instructions on the tag. Wouldn't that be so cute, y'all? All right, shameless plug. I'm going to show y'all and tell you about my cookbooks. I've written 2 cookbooks for shelf-stable meals and mixes, and I wrote them with Thrive Life ingredients in mind because that's what I have sold for 3 years. But you can actually use other brands and even your own home freeze-dried foods in these recipes. You can find the paperback on Amazon and the digital form on my website. I will link to both below. Whenever you're ready to bake these, you will get out a large bowl and then empty your mix into the bowl, chocolate chips and all. Now, I did have to get out a spoon and loosen up that mix just a little bit, but then it all came out just fine. And here it is, guys. The magic of this whole thing is you just add water, okay? It's 5 tablespoons of tap water, and that's all there is to it. And that's because all you're really needing to do with that water is activate those eggs and hydrate that flour a little bit. It seems like, wow, that's not a lot of water. And it's not, but that's really all you need. I have done, I want to say 5 or 6 versions of this cookie dough mix, trying to perfect this recipe. The first time I did it, I put way too much water in it, and it was like a batter. So I have learned, yeah, you don't really need more than that as far as the water goes. I'm going to try and show you here the consistency after you mix that water in. See, it's just a great consistency for a cookie dough. You don't want a cookie batter, you want a cookie dough. And then I just got out my scooper. It's probably about 1.5 tablespoons, but I did heaping 1.5 tablespoons. So that's probably more like at least 2 tablespoons each. And I got 20 cookie dough balls out of this. Now, what you want to do is cook it at 350 for 10 minutes and then bring it out and drop the pan. And I saw this online, and it was a great trick. You want to drop the pan a couple of times and create those crinkles on the top. So you cook it for 10 minutes, drop the pan a couple times, put it back in the oven, and bake it for another 5 minutes or so. That will give you a really nice caramelization inside of the cookie, and it will crinkle the tops. Instead of having domes, you'll have these crinkle cookies, and that's really what you want. You want to make sure that the bottoms are really nice and browned, and if you bring them out and you notice that they're just kind of flimsy on the bottom, put them back in the oven. Don't be afraid to put these back in the oven. I actually had to do that. I had to put them back in the oven and cook them longer. They just weren't brown enough. They weren't done enough. So don't be afraid. Just put them back in, let them cook. They need to cook until they're done. And then you can bring them out, let them cool on the tray for a couple of minutes, and then transfer them to a wire rack to cool. But I think they're great warm. My husband and I both agree these cookies are fantastic warm. They're good at any temperature because they're just that tasty. Here's a good look at what your bottoms should look like. They should be nice and caramelly and toasty on the bottom. These should not be flimsy. When you get that perfection on the bottom, your edges will be a little bit crisp And then the middles will be super soft and almost caramel-like. Y'all, the flavor here is so perfect. It's one of those recipes, like when my daughter tried it, her eyes just rolled back and she said, "These are so good, Mom." And oh gosh, y'all, I'm just really pleased with the recipe. I'm so excited to share it with you. I think that giving these as a gift is wonderful. You only have to have water on hand to make these. The other cookie dough mix in a jar recipes that I've seen out there on the internet, they're cute as a button and everybody loves them. I'm not knocking those at all. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And every one of those mixes that I've seen, all of them require for you to add softened butter, eggs, and vanilla. Well, in my mix, all of those things are kind of already in there. The fact that you just add water to these, that's a game changer. It just makes these so special. And I think anybody would love to get this as a gift. And I'm just telling you, they are so good. There's no way anybody would ever guess that these, just sat on your pantry shelf and all you did to make them was add water. There's just no way. They're fantastic, y'all. I'm so excited for you to try them. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. The information I am about to share with you is dangerous. So, you have been warned. My husband and I have figured out what we really like to do in the evenings is make like 2 chocolate chip cookies. Fresh chocolate chip cookies. Maybe 4, okay? Maybe 4. But if you have the mix on your shelf and you just don't put the chocolate chips in the top, you just have the mix by itself, what you can do is make like a custom amount of chocolate chip cookies fresh whenever you need them. For every slightly packed and heaping 1/4 cup of mix, you need 1 teaspoon of water. You just need a little bit just to wake up the eggs in there. That's really all you need. And then you can add to that as many chocolate chips as you like. What I'm showing you here is 1/2 cup, rounded 1/2 cup of mix, 2 teaspoons of water, handful of chocolate chips, and then I made 3 big cookies. I should have really made 4. I had to cook them a little bit longer to get them done all the way through. But oh my word, we had fresh chocolate chip cookies. I'm not going to tell you how many days that week we had fresh chocolate chip cookies because it's embarrassing. But oh, y'all, they are so good. My husband says these are the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever made. Like I said, you've been warned. You must use some self-control here. Full disclosure, I have not had this mix sitting around on my shelf for longer than a couple of weeks because we just keep using it up and making the cookies. So I don't think there's anything in there that is going to go bad on you. I think it should be just fine sitting on your pantry shelf for 3 to 4 months. All right, guys, I've got your verse of the day for you. It's 2 Corinthians 6:2, and it reads, "Now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation." I hope y'all have a blessed day, a fantastic week, and until next time, y'all take care and keep thriving.